Hello mon petit and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another fashion video. It's Thursday and you know what that means, but today it's going to be a very petite specific fashion video. I want this video to be your petite girl's guide, your petite fashion bible if you will, for all things autumnal styling. I like to think of myself as your resident petite guru. That sounds so big-headed, but I mean that in the sense of your petite inspo who knows all about petite styling, who knows how to put outfits together, who knows how to make herself look taller. I cannot tell you how many times this has happened to me. In fact, I think it's safe to say it's every single time I've ever gone to like an in-person event. If ever I've met someone in real life after they've seen like Instagram or any of my kind of like styling videos, the number one comment I always get is, wow, you're really short, which I always respond that the PetiteElliee is not ironic. Can you imagine 6 foot me walking in the room having called myself PetiteElliee? I am actually 5 foot exactly, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. I often get DMs and questions from people asking like how tall I am, or people saying, oh my gosh, I would love to wear this, but I'm only 5'2", and I'm like, girl, I wish I was 5'2". If I can wear it at little old 5 foot exactly, you can wear it and rock it. So today's video is going to be all about autumnal styling, because I do feel like this time of year in particular can be quite tricky in terms of knowing how to put outfits together, knowing what to wear, and just making sure that you are dressing, I don't want to say like for your body type, because I'm never the kind of person that's like, you need to wear this if you're this specific shape, but just being able to elevate your outfits as a petite girl and dress amazingly this autumn. So let's jump straight into the video. This is going to be my petite girl's guide to autumn styling. I'm just going to apologize now for the lighting in this video. It is a blusterous autumnal day, which means the sun is going in and out. It makes it very atmospheric for today's video. It is very fitting for today, but it does mean that the lighting, it keeps changing. So I do apologize, but I do want to start off by talking about exactly that, looking taller in your outfits. And I do feel like that is one of the most important things for me whenever I'm putting together an outfit, whenever I'm styling up my pieces. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we need to put together an outfit that's going to make you look like your legs are 6 foot long, because let's be honest, it's never going to happen. But I do think it's really important to know your proportions and know basically what's the shortest part in your body. For me personally, despite the fact that I'm only 5 foot, I actually don't think I have really short legs. For me, it's my torso that is my shortest, and I've known that for a really long time. It's just something proportionally with me. My legs are a little bit longer for my height, but my torso is actually what is the shortest. So it's really good to know that, just in terms of putting together your outfits, putting together your kind of like pieces, and just knowing what's going to flatter you and suit you. I know, for example, that dresses and longer line tops can be really, really difficult for me, just because of the fact that I do have a shorter torso. Often with dresses, if I haven't shopped them from the petite section, the torso is just way too long. It doesn't sit on my hips where it's supposed to, and it ends up being quite unflattering. Or similarly with long line tops, they end up looking like they were kind of meant to be a dress, but they're not really a dress, and it just doesn't really work. So knowing your proportions can really help with regards to knowing what to wear, what to buy, and how to make you look taller. So when it comes to looking taller, the first thing that I love doing, that I feel like always helps in terms of elongation and giving you a little bit of height, is a cinched in waist. And this is very good for us petite girls because it is very on trend at the moment. If you watch my autumn winter trends video, then you will know a cinched in waist is huge this year, whether that is an actual cinched in piece, items that have been tailored, that have got that real kind of like tuck in at your waist, or whether it is just with a belt. It's really amazing how when it comes to trends, you can literally just do it in your own kind of accord. You can do it however you want to suit your style. So it's definitely a good time to have a look at the belts you've got in your collection, maybe take stock, maybe add some new ones into your wardrobe, because I always find a cinched in waist is so much more flattering on our shorter frame. So the cinched in waist is a great one for us petite girls, because it really helps with regards to not only giving you a beautiful feminine silhouette, but the elongation of your body. Now I'm gonna warn you now, I'm going to be talking a lot about elongation, elevation, making you appear taller. So let's not make this into a drinking game, because you'll be smashed by the end of the video, I promise you that. But it's all about that elongation. We're never going to actually be taller. It's all about the kind of appearance of elongating our body, kind of lengthening proportions that we want to lengthen, and just creating a really flattering silhouette. So looking at a cinched in waist, whether that is through belting something, whether that is with an item that you can actually belt yourself, or through maybe kind of like tighter trousers personally. I love a cigarette trouser. I find them really flattering, or a wide leg trouser on us petite girls. They're just silhouettes that I always feel like work really, really well. But just thinking about cinching in your waist, creating that beautiful streamlined silhouette, it's going to really help with the elongation in your body. Another thing that I always think about when it comes to putting outfits together as a petite girl is the balance in my outfit. And this is particularly important during autumn, because in autumn time there is a lot more fabric going on and a lot more material that we need to think about. We're layering, we're adding cozy knits, we're adding coats, we're adding jumpers. So it's really important to think about the balance in your outfits. And it's a mistake I see petite girls making time and time again. They either go down one of two routes. I find they either go for all tight fitting pieces, thinking that having a more kind of tight fitting silhouette will really help with regards to the elongation, or they'll do the opposite and go for really baggy clothes and think the baggy looseness of the outfit will help with regards to the silhouette and the framing of the outfit. And actually going down either of these roads, I find are going to be so much less flattering than if you think about the balance in your outfits and instead do one tight fitting piece with one looser piece. For me personally, my favorite way of kind of like balancing this and juxtaposing it is a really tight fitted top with a pair of wide leg trousers. Now, wide leg trousers are something I know a lot of petite girls shy away from. So many people message me whenever I share them on Instagram. So many people message me on Instagram whenever I share wide leg jeans, wide leg tailored trousers, saying they wish they could wear a wide leg. And I always tell them, girl, just give it a try. And trust me, you will love it. There's something about that kind of like wide leg that just helps with that elongation. It helps with the elevation and kind of pulls the eye up a little bit. And then tucking it in with a more tight fitted top will really help with regards to the elongation, that continuation of kind of fabric. I find that it helps give you a little bit of a longer leg. And if you go for something a bit higher in the neckline, like a turtleneck or a mock turtleneck, it will really help pull the eye up and create the illusion of a longer torso. But thinking about the balance, going for one looser item with one tighter fit is always going to help with regards to your outfits and always going to be more flattering. So I find a looser trouser with a tighter top, or a tighter trouser with something a little bit baggier. Don't make the mistake of going too baggy or too oversized. I find as a petite girl, it is so easy to fall down the trap of the oversized look, and it can be so easy to look completely overwhelmed in fabric and completely overwhelmed in the piece that you've got on. So maybe go true to size. It's something that I find is an easy mistake to make, but can make so much of a difference if you're a petite girl wanting to look like you are elevated in your outfit. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I am not normally the kind of person that tells you what not to wear, because I always feel like you wear what you want to wear. If it makes you feel good, then that is the most important thing. But I am gonna give a list of my personal no-nos. There are a few things that I do not wear as a petite girl. I just find that these pieces do not work on me. They are not flattering in the slightest, and I feel like with my height, they just make me look so much shorter. So the first thing is a mid-length jacket, and it's quite an important one to talk about because I'm noticing a lot of mid-length jackets coming onto the high street. It seems to be a little bit of like a mini trend at the moment, and I'm seeing a lot of girls picking them up. So I'm here to tell you, if you're short like me, stay away from them. They are just not worth your time or your money. The problem with a mid-length jacket is where it stops on you. That kind of like mid-thigh isn't flattering on your legs and isn't flattering on your torso. All it's going to do is shrink your body and kind of bring your height down a little bit. So there's two different ways that you can go. You can kind of go either of the extremes. My personal favorite is a long line coat, whether that's a trench coat or like a full woolen coat for the winter time. A long line coat is so much more flattering. Bonus points if you get one with a tight waist, because it means you can pull in the waist, you can cinch it in, and then you're not going to be overwhelmed by your coat. But I just find that longer line really helps, again, with the elevation. It really helps pull the eye up and make your body appear taller. Alternatively, if you don't like something super long line and you're worried about it drowning you, I'd prefer to go for a cropped jacket. You can get a cropped trench or gorgeous little kind of cropped boucle jackets that are all the rage at the moment. They are so flattering on us shorter girls. I feel like it's because of my short torso. They just work so well on me. They probably hit on me way lower than they would on the average girl or a taller girl. For me, they hit kind of like just on my hips, which I do find quite flattering. Actually, I just think it's so much better because it really helps with that elongation. It means that nothing's being like taken away from your legs. And instead, because of the fact that it kind of looks full length, but it's not full length, it pulls the eye up. It makes you appear taller on your top half as well. So that's something that I would always substitute out. I'd always avoid a mid-length jacket and instead go for something either full length or something cropped. Another thing I never wear, and this is very controversial, I always get a lot of people that disagree with me whenever I say this, but I'm gonna say it, I don't wear minis. I haven't worn a mini dress or a mini skirt in years because I just don't find them flattering on me as a shorter girl. I find it far too difficult to find one that actually fits me in length, and that is including shopping on the petite section. I think because I am shorter than the average girl, if I was to get a mini that kind of sits where it's supposed to sit, I feel like there's almost just like not enough of me to kind of like stop it from basically flashing the entire world. So I always have to go for something a little bit longer, and then it just starts hitting my knees, it starts looking a little bit more frumpy, and I just hate it. To tell you the complete and honest truth, I absolutely hate it on me. I definitely think that midis or even maxis are more flattering, and I know a lot of petite girls shy away from maxi skirts and maxi dresses, but now is the perfect time actually to try a maxi, because if you watch my trends video, you will know that they are very in at the moment. Maxi skirts and maxi dresses are huge, like really full long skirts, and I actually find it really flattering on me as a shorter girl. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like that like elevation of material again really helps with the elongation of my body. And similarly, midis are a great one. Don't worry if it doesn't actually hit as a midi length, because mid-axes are very big as well. So the amount of times I wear a midi, it kind of comes up as a mid-axie. I just embrace it. I don't really care where exactly on my leg it stops, as long as it's really elongating, as long as it's below the knee and it's not a mini skirt. I love it. And the final one I'll talk about that I do not wear as a petite girl is another really controversial one, and I know a lot of people are going to get upset with me for saying this, but skinny jeans. I have tried to make skinny jeans work so much, whether it's with tucking boots in, whether it's with wearing like trainers or like cute little ballet flats. I just don't think skinny jeans work. And again, I feel like the only girls that I've ever seen them look amazing on are really tall girls. But there is something, if you like a skinny jean and you wish you could make it work, I definitely would recommend trying a boot cut, because you can go quite tight fitting on the top half of your legs, but the boot cut, the elevation of it just really helps with regards to the elongation of your legs. I feel like that flare is just what really helps kind of pull the eye up and make you appear taller. So if you're a shorter girl that's always wanted to make skinny jeans work, definitely give a boot cut a try. I think it's a really, really gorgeous silhouette. Now let's talk about some mistakes that we need to avoid making as petite girls. And a lot of these mistakes I have been so guilty of making, which is why I'm including them in this video. So if you've made these in the past, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't feel bad. It's just something to think about when moving forward. Now, mistake number one is not to tuck everything in. I feel like it's something that we've had to unlearn. If you're a millennial, then you will know that tucking things in were just all the rage. I actually remember when I started school, that's when everyone started tucking things in, and just whether it was a skirt, whether it was a pair of trousers, whether it was a thick jumper, a little t-shirt, nothing was allowed to be left untucked. And it's something we've always had to unlearn, and something that I've really had to kind of work on by a case-by-case basis, because there are certain things, like as I said, with the cigarette trousers, with the wide leg trousers, I feel like tucking in is an absolute must. It looks so flattering, it just looks so elongating, but there are certain things, particularly when it comes to maybe chunky knits or skirts, you don't need to tuck everything in. Sometimes what that can actually do is almost create a break in your body and a break in your outfit, and it kind of shortens your torso. It kind of creates like a visual block, and instead of elongating your body and making you appear taller, it creates this really horrible like juxtaposition, which is just not the most flattering. So have a little play around with some of the outfits in your wardrobe. Think about some pieces that maybe you would have tucked in before. Are you able to kind of let loose a little bit? Maybe go for a fully loose outfit. That is completely okay. When it comes to balance, I love a slip skirt with like a looser jumper. I think it looks really, really lovely, and it's just something to think about, that not everything needs to be tucked in. So next time you automatically go to tuck something in, just have a little think about whether it might look a little bit more flattering if you just untuck it, let it fall a little bit looser. Especially on us shorter girls, it's something to really note that not everything looks good tucked in. The second mistake to avoid making, particularly in autumn, is your sleeve length. As a shorter girl, I'm sure you're all going to agree with me here that sleeves can overwhelm us so easily. I feel like that's maybe why I've been loving these like short sleeved cardigans, because it means that I'm not having to roll sleeves up, I'm not having to push sleeves up my arm, I'm not having to like get them away from my hands. I have a little bit more kind of like freedom and flexibility. I don't have to worry quite as much about being overwhelmed in its sleeves. But I do kind of feel like that's almost like one of the biggest tells being a shorter girl is when sleeves completely cover your hands, they like come over your arms, they just don't look flattering. It's so funny when I think about it, because when I was a kid, my mum used to always roll my sleeves up on like my school jumpers and on my outfits, and I hated it because none of the other girls had to do it. And now I completely understand. Mum, I'm sorry, I get it. I get why you roll my sleeves up, because it looks so much better than having them completely overwhelmed on your hands. If you're not someone that enjoys rolling them up, I would definitely recommend actually investing in these. These are called sleeveys, and they are so much better than just putting a hairband on your wrist. I know a lot of girls do that. It can actually be a little bit too tight and can be quite uncomfortable, whereas these are actually designed to like go on your arms. As you can see, they're not tight at all, but you can just use it to push your sleeve up, and it keeps the sleeve a little bit higher. So whether that's a coat, whether that's a blazer, whether that's a jumper, they are so much handy, and they come in loads of different colors. So you won't actually see it underneath your outfit. They are honestly game changers as a petite girl. And it just means that I'm not being like overwhelmed in my fabric, overwhelmed in my pieces, because especially when it comes to thicker items like knitwear, like coats, like jackets, it's so easy to become overwhelmed in the fabric of them. So getting your sleeves out of your way, tucking them up a little bit on your arms is just gonna be so much more flattering. And the final mistake to avoid making this autumn is something that I feel like all of us are guilty of, whether you're petite or not, and something that we all need to think about this new season is not getting caught up in the wrong trends. When it comes to trends, as you know, I love talking about them. I've done not one but 2 videos on trends this autumn winter, and they're so much fun. You can really get experimental with your outfits, you can have a lot of fun with what you're wearing, but it can be quite easy to get caught up in them. And there are certain trends that I feel like as a petite girl you just want to avoid. For example, the denim skirt trend. It's been huge for like 2 years. So many girls have absolutely rocked it, but I have just had to cheerlead from the sidelines and tell my taller friends how amazing they look. And similarly, there are some trends that are going to be like that. For me personally, I actually find the double denim trend is a trend that I don't absolutely love. I kind of find it a little bit overwhelming. I think it's because denim is such a thick, heavy fabric that it's quite a lot on our shorter frames. It's something that I feel like taller girls just don't understand. Having a shorter frame, how much we have to think about the material, the sizing, like the colorways. There's so much to think about, and it's so easy to get overwhelmed in your clothes. And I find double denim one that's quite easy to get overwhelmed with. So that's another trend that I'm going to be sitting out from the sidelines. But just thinking about those trends that you're going to be adding into your autumn winter wardrobe, don't make the mistake of getting caught up with them, just thinking, oh my god, that's an amazing trend, I need to jump on the bandwagon. Sometimes they don't work for us shorter girls, and that is absolutely fine to cheer from the sidelines. Now, a question that I wanted to answer in this video is one that I get so often, and I feel like today would be the perfect day to kind of compile a list of my favorite stores to shop from. I always get asked for my favorite brands that offer petite clothing or that I can shop at as a petite girl, so I thought I would include some of my favorite brands. Number 1 being Marks and Spencer. I feel like this is such a testament to my age. It goes to show that I'm really growing up, that I love shopping at Marks and Spencer's. But not only do they do a petite range, but they also do a really great variety of short, regular and long trousers, as do Abercrombie. Abercrombie have been amazing when it comes to short, regular and longer line pieces, not only in their trousers, not only in their jeans, but also in a lot of their dresses. So throughout the summer I was able to shop some beautiful dresses from there that I was able to get without them being actually petite pieces, but just a shorter length, which I do find so important, because sometimes if you shop from the petite section, you do need to often size up. I find I'm usually a 12 regular or a 14 petite, because they just make the pieces a little bit more undersized. But Abercrombie, Marks and Spencer's, Hobbs is another place I love shopping at. They do so many beautiful dresses, gorgeous jackets and accessories as well. So I always feel really confident shopping there as a petite girl. And River Island. Oh my goodness me, I love River Island's petite section. Again, they offer all of their trousers, or at least all of their jeans, regular, long and short. I think a lot of their trousers they do in petite as well. But you know, I often shop at H&M, and even though it's not actually a petite store, I do find a lot of their pieces still really petite girl friendly. You just kind of need to know the right pieces to shop. So yeah, my favorite stores to shop from as a petite girl. I'm hoping I've not missed any off the list. I like going through, making sure that I've not missed any off the list. Of course, there are lots of other stores that I do shop at, but those are my absolute favorites when it comes to shopping as a petite girl, and stores that I always feel like a lot of confidence in shopping at as a shorter girl. Now, the last piece of advice that I want to leave you with is a little bit of a controversial one. I know a lot of petite girls don't like it when I suggest this, but one of the best pieces of advice I can ever give you as a shorter girl well is to find a great tailor, an amazing seamstress that you can rely on whenever you need to alter pieces, because I am never against getting pieces altered, especially if it's something a little bit more special. It might be a bridesmaid's dress or like a wedding guest dress. It might be a coat that you've had your eye on for ages that they don't quite do in like the petite length or a shorter length. Getting pieces altered can literally take an item from looking meh to looking absolutely incredible. You know, I talk a lot about high street pieces that look high end. I do find getting high street pieces tailored often make them look like they are so expensive. It looks like you have dropped thousands of pounds to get an item that fits you perfectly. There is nothing more classic and more flattering than something that fits you to a T. So looking at getting things altered is never something I'm against. I know it's a little bit of an extra cost, but when it comes to something a little bit more special or something that's going to last in your wardrobe forever, that cost per wear is going to go right down. If you wear that piece a lot and you style it up loads, you know you're going to get your cost per wear out of not only the piece, but also the cost it took to get it tailored. So having a good seamstress nearby, someone you can rely on to get things altered and tailored to fit you, is going to be such a godsend as a petite girl. And there we have it, my petite girl's guide to autumn styling. I hope you've been able to take away a few nuggets of information, a few tips and tricks that you can take with you the next time you're putting together an outfit this autumn. I feel like there's so many more things that I could chat about as a petite girl, but I didn't want this video to be 10,000 hours long. So let me know if you want me to go into any more detail, any more depth of my petite girls guides, or anything specific that you're struggling wearing. Let me know, comment down below. And if you did get to the end of the video, actually comment shorty down below in your comments. I would love to know who is watching, what petite girls are out there that have watched this video, and I really hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you haven't hit that subscribe button already, I would love it if you hit it now. I upload fashion videos every Thursdays and vlogs every Monday, and I've got lots more coming this autumn. I hope you are ready for it. So I hope you have the loveliest evening, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.